Okay, let me check everything and please tell me in the chat if you can hear me okay and we can start. Okay. Okay, let me switch to my camera first. Okay, so hello to the new stream. I'll be doing a sketch that is something like this. Like not this one, but a simple one like this one. And I want to keep it like about an hour maybe, so we can make something short. And today I'll be using these photos for reference. These are photos that I took together with Kana, which we took here in a shrine near our house. I say near, we had to walk for like 30-40 minutes to get there, and we went there because it's the season for the hanami, so flower viewing. And these are not sakuras, so not cherry blossom but plum blossom, so ume plums. And this place is kind of famous for the plum blossoms, so we went there to see, and I took some photos. So I want to do like a quick sketch, just to explore this. And I'm thinking about making like a bigger thing from this, but I still kind of don't know with what media I want to do this, so I'll just have to explore a bit before I decide. Let me adjust the colors on the picture a bit. Okay. So I want to do a quick sketch before I decide what I'll do this with and what I'll paint this with. I kind of want to do this with watercolors, but I don't know if I will use the pencil for this or not, so I just want to test things before I go like full on this. Okay. As usual, I have your chat here on my left, so I'm able to, like, you are there. I'm able to see what you're chatting about, and if you have anything you want me to talk about, just say in the chat. Okay. So first I want to do like a really rough thing, just to put everything in the picture. I will not be drawing like straight from the reference files because I want to move things around a bit. And yeah, I want to add, like, if you see the reference pictures, there is like on the right picture there are these lanterns. So I want to add these lanterns to the kind of left scene to make it a bit more interesting. And also I want to show the bridge a little bit more, so it's not like straight on, just a bit more like in the right picture. But I want to show the roof of the shrine, like the green roof in the distance. So I want to kind of figure out the composition with this quick sketch that I'll be doing. Okay. So let's see. Let me make it a bit darker so maybe you can see the pencil better. Okay, so I want the stairs be like something like this here. maybe lower. I don't need so much ground. Something like this. And I want the trees to be more or less here-ish. The lantern. The left side of the stairs I will do like front on, so with almost no perspective, but here I wanted the curve to be visible, so something like this. This is lower actually. The problem is with these bridges, the handrails are kind of low compared to the stair height, so they're a bit dangerous. So often what you will see is like the management of the shrine will add a second guardrail like inside or outside of these red ones to make it more safe for people. But in the process of making it more safe, they make it look more ugly also. I think I'll be streaming for like an hour and a half maybe. I don't to make it too long this time. So let's make the lantern here-ish. And there's like another red thing here in the front. And there's like a tree here also. Okay, and let's say that the roof of the shrine, let's make it here. Something like this. No, I think it's okay, more or less. The tree is like here. And there's like a fence, some green stuff here. So I'm just sketching really lightly. Okay. So this is like half true because I'm trying to make it a bit more interesting. So in the process of making it a bit more interesting, I'm like omitting a lot of things and putting a lot of things in. I'm just mixing the things that I see, so it kind of matches what I would like to do with this scene. So there's like a tree here. Yeah, I think something like this is okay. This is just like a concept sketch that I want to do, so it doesn't have to be perfect, like perspective wise and content wise anyway. Yeah, maybe less perspective here on the bridge, something like this. So we have a bit of perspective on both sides here and here, but more on the right side. Like usually the entrance to the shrine is like in the center, so we should move it to the left so it's a bit more realistic. I guess the center is about here because we are looking from like a perspective just a little bit from the right, so a little bit from the left, so I would have to move it like here, I think. And there's more plums there. Okay, more plums here. Yeah, something like this, I guess. Okay, so we can go for the main sketch. Let me take my brush. Yes, I'm using references, and here are the references, but I'm not doing like it perfectly like in the photos. So I'll just lightly erase the like underdrawing with like the needed eraser. So okay, I'll be starting from the left part here. Let me make it brighter a bit. I'll be starting like from here. So I don't smudge everything, and I'll be using the Blackwing, the softest one, for like the strong parts in front, but I'll use like a harder one like this one for stuff in the back. Okay. So we have the roof here first. Something like this. Let me adjust the video a bit. It's a bit orange looking. Okay, so let me start from the roof. If you have anything you want me to talk about, just put it in the chat. Yes, I'm in Japan right now. Okay, sorry for this. Let's go. So I'm using like a lighter pencil for the things in the back. I want to make like lighter lines. Yeah, I will post this probably. If it goes well, I'll leave it on YouTube so you can watch it later. If it will be a complete disaster, I will not. But I'm doing this from references, so I don't think it will be like a complete disaster. I hope. Yeah. If you haven't read, if you don't know, I have a blog. Yay for blogs in 2021. But actually, I thought that I needed a place to just speak about things. And recently, I posted a second part of an article that I did about something that I'm calling the Moore problem. Wait, let me swap this. Like if you have like these electric erasers and it gets too short, it can eat into your paper, and just you have to put new ones. Like this, and put it inside. So I posted like a second part of an article about something that I'm calling the Moeb illustration style problem, and I think you should read it if you are interested in like animation and especially Japanese animation. But not only. I think this problem is a bit universal, especially lately. A lot of foreign artists also have this, and this is about kind of misrepresentation of female characters in current like popular media in Japan. So like in illustration, in anime. Yeah, I think this is an important topic to be kind of discussed. I did like 2 big posts about this, and yeah, basically this is one of the reasons why I cannot stand a lot of modern animation, and I have a lot of problems with just watching anything without feeling like someone is trying to hack into my brain and sell me something. And I'm exploring why this is in these posts. So I'm reading a manga that's called Yotsuba which is really cute comic about like everyday life of a father and his I think adopted daughter, which is really nice and kind of fluffy and makes you want to do things like nice things. For example, because in the last episode they were making banana smoothies. I like immediately had to go to like the shop and buy some bananas to make a banana smoothie also here for Kana and me. They actually released the 15th volume like yesterday in Japan. So but this manga is really popular, so you can like find a lot of fun translations online, and you can read it almost real time as it appears in the magazine. But I usually wait for the like tankobon, so for the book version, so I can read it like at once. But this time it took, I think, like 2 years for the person, for the author, to finish the new volume. So we waited a long time. So we actually went to Amazon to buy it, like in the pre-sale, but it seemed like the Amazon will be actually later than what we could do like ourselves in the store, just local store. So we went and bought it from the local store and tried to cancel the Amazon pre-order, but we actually prefer to buy in like local bookstores. But Amazon didn't allow us to cancel the pre-order, so we were like, oh, whatever, we'll just buy 2 of them and give one to someone. I'm talking about Yotsuba so Yotsuba and I think it's in English. And it's a manga that I actually continue reading from when I was first in Japan, like almost 11 years ago, and it's still ongoing, so I'm always buying the new one when it comes out. I can read in Japanese if it has furigana, so I don't have to read the kanji, so the Chinese characters. And luckily Yotsuba and has the furigana, so I can read it. I know the meanings of the words, but just reading the kanji is difficult still for me. I'm being really rough here. No, Kana cannot speak English actually. So we communicate mostly like in Japanese. Okay, so there's like a bamboo fence here. Okay, let me zoom out a bit here. I'm actually having this open like this, so I cannot move it because it's like next to my computer there. But the best part about having the Mac Mini is that it's really silent. It's actually streaming right now, and the microphone is like 10-15 centimeters from it, and it doesn't do any sound. It doesn't like move like I haven't heard it turn the fan that's inside. Supposedly it's inside once yet. So I don't know how the fan sounds because it hadn't turned on yet, which is good. Answering your question, I'm sorry. I don't think we have to do lines straight. Actually, I really like more lines that are kind of wavy and more natural than straight. Each time that I draw, I try to show the thing that I'm drawing, but I don't think that making lines that are straight makes it look better. Actually, I think it makes it more stiff and less interesting. And for example, in the manga that I mentioned, the Yotsuba, and the backgrounds were always like really good. But recently, I don't know, maybe the assistant that made the backgrounds, or just the author of the manga figured out some things, and they changed the lines for the backgrounds to be more kind of wavy and more natural, like hand drawn and not like done from like a ruler. And the backgrounds are all really nicer from this. So I think I'm correct in saying that you don't have to do like straight lines so it looks nice. And actually it looks better if it doesn't have straight lines. What were my struggles in my first animation? Mostly characters, I guess. I did the whole animation by myself, so I had to animate all the characters. And I'm not really good at drawing characters even now, especially characters that are in this kind of anime style, let's say it. So I struggled a lot with that, and I couldn't make it so it looked like really how I wanted. So that was a big problem for me. Okay, and so there's like my advice from indie animators from scratch is keep it really simple, like really simple. Actually, this is my advice for anyone starting at anything. Keep it really simple. You don't have to be like you don't have to do complicated and flashy and whatever stuff to make interesting things. If you look really closely on the internet, you can find things from a lot of people that are really nice and interesting, and I'm talking about animation and manga and illustration and whatever watercolors that are really simple but really beautiful, and they have meaning, they have a story, they have a lot of things going on there, but the technical things are kind of limited to what the person felt like really good with, and they use it to full extent, and the work is perfect. So think about your kind of strengths, what you are really good with, and then use it. And if you feel kind of that you have a bit of strength left and the work can use some innovation in what you do, and you want to do some new things, then add just a bit of a thing that will cause you to learn new things, which is also good at every project that you do. So for example, if I would be doing animation for the first time right now, I would probably set it in Japan, use a lot of real locations for background, so I don't have to figure everything out, and I can use just references, like photos for references. I would probably do everything digital, and I would do like minimalistic style animation. So I don't know, people sitting and talking maybe, or just talking is also difficult. So just maybe people sitting and drinking coffee, or trains passing, or like something like that. And I would try to make it as kind of vibey as possible. So it's really a simple thing to do, but because I would be playing into my strengths and trying to make it simple. And maybe if I felt like adventurous, I would add some things there. But yeah. If I forget myself, I do straight lines, and which are not interesting. So I have to kind of keep remembering. I like animations that have kind of meat in them, so proper story and proper characters. And by proper, I mean even if they are kind of, how do you call it, 2D and simplified, the contents is real. So for example, you have the comic Land of the Lustrous, which has really simplified contents because it has only like these kind of agenda characters, which are really simple, and just few buildings and a small island. But the characters are deep, and the relations between the characters are interesting, and the story is interesting. So you can actually make a really interesting and deep story with not so much assets, let's say it. Okay, so let's try to paint some of the trees. Draw some of the trees really fast. With trees, we don't have at this kind of level of abstraction, we don't have to be really precise. They just have to look like a tree. And I can add some like branches, and plums and sakuras are really easy to draw because the branches are really random. So you can just go like with some random branches and it will look okay. So if you watch the animation, the anime Land of the Lustrous is really well done. It's 3D, but it's really well done. They didn't have to do many things because like it only happens on this small island, and there's like a one building, and the island only has grass on it, and there's a bit of like sea and stuff in it, but not so much. So content wise it's kind of simple, but it's good story wise and character wise. So if you feel that you have, for example, a great idea for like characters and their relationships, then you focus on that and make the rest simple. Yeah, this is wait, how is it called? Kameido Tenjin in Tokyo. And I cannot go back to my screen. Wait. What just happened? Ah, okay. Just OBS got really big, the window. Okay, so here's the reference that I'm using. But I'm not drawing it exactly as it is on the photo, just making stuff up as I go. Yeah, I worked on Space Dandy when I was in the studio, in the animation studio. We got like, I think 2 episodes or 1 episode, I think 2 episodes to do, and I got like this part with a garbage planet that was like full of crap and like old spaceships and parts and stuff. So it was actually really fun to draw because we could just do anything. So I looked at some parts of old like not spaceships but like airplanes and airplane graveyards and stuff like that on the internet, and tried to do like this kind of like spaceship graveyard scene from this, and I think we did kind of well. I also had like the chance to paint like as not a star, on a planet that was falling apart and exploding, so that was fun also. So we had some fun with this. I also did like some of the Space Dandies like ship insides, but just a bit. So we helped a studio that just was too busy to finish it all by themselves, so they looked for someone to help with the backgrounds, and we actually were in between 2 productions because we just finished making the Hannah and Alice murder mystery thing, and we were going to do the Your Name animation, so in between we did some like small jobs for other studios who were having problems with keeping their schedules. Yeah, there was like this cute dog who died, I think, and Dandy was like crying about that dog. I actually saw some of the episodes recently, just to see how it went, and it was actually okay. I mean, it's like a comedy show. It has all the pitfalls of a comedy show in Japan, especially this kind of type of comedy. So yeah. Drawing random dots for the tree, some branches in between. Okay, and I want to do like a bigger one here. Just have to fill this part somehow with something so it doesn't feel so empty. So I'll make like a fence here. Yeah, I liked it. Actually, we have a kind of Blu-ray set from it. I liked it very much when I saw it the first time. Recently, I tried to watch it from the Blu-ray set that we have, and actually, I saw a few episodes and I couldn't continue, and that was just because like the tempo is so slow in some of the episodes. So maybe if you see it like one episode at a time, it's okay, but it's not so great for binge watching, I guess. But I like it a lot. I like the music, I like the character designs, I like the voice acting, I like this kind of crazy style that like connected a lot of things together in this like weird mishmash. So yeah, it's one of the series that I guess recommend to a person that is not like an anime head. It just wants to watch something that's animated, but an adult can watch it and not feel bad about it. Okay. And I guess for the stuff that's closer to the, let's say, camera, like not physically, but I will switch to the softer pencil because I want to make things like this, which are really close. You can see, which are really close to the camera. And if you are wondering how to distinguish between the ume, so the plum blossom, and the sakura, so the cherry blossom, actually Kana did a comic, like a illustration about it on Twitter. And basically, if it is if the flowers that you see are just sprouting almost directly from the branches, this is a ume, so plum tree. But if they have like short stems, then it's a cherry tree. But they all have like different colors, and they have different like smells, and they can have different size and shape of the petals and so on. But usually this rule of thumb is to see if the flowers have stems and they're like in kind of small groups, or then it's a sakura. But if they blossom straight from the kind of branches of the tree, from the hard dark parts, then this is an ume. I really like umeboshi. So the pickled plums. I like it on like just rice. It's actually weird because I like some of the most standard Japanese foods. So some Japanese look at me and they're like, I don't know, do you want to please us? Do you choose this stuff? And I'm like, no, I just like it. I like sushi and I like onigiri and stuff. So sometimes the like the simplest Japanese foods are the best for me. And this sound is an electric sharpener, which is a great invention that a lot of animators in Japan use. And recently I had problems on the stream because I usually sharpen my pencils by hand, like with a knife, but it's too slow to do like during a stream. So I took out my electric pencil sharpener also from the closet. I watched and actually enjoyed My Hero Academia recently. I guess it's a fighting anime. Yeah, I watched it in like this kind of mode where I just shut down my brain and enjoy it. And at least I tried to enjoy it. I was happy to see that it didn't have so much like cutesy moe stuff in it, just a bit. Like the girl characters are a bit shallow and like depend on the male protagonists, so it's like as usual. But yeah, it was okay. Sorry, you cannot see. Let me zoom out. The picture got kind of big. So that's what I watched recently. I'm using this, which is what is this? This is a Fabriano sketchbook. I don't think this is made anymore. I bought it because I saw someone using it on I think Instagram, and I wanted to try it. It's okay. It's not the best sketchbook for like watercolors, not by far. It's nice looking and the paper is okay, but it's too thin for watercolor paintings. So I'm using it for like sketching and just chilling while streaming. I like the design of it, even though it doesn't really open like 180 degrees like the Canson one that I have. So far for like thin paper that you can use for a lot of things, the Canson 180 sketchbook, art sketchbook is really the best I have so far. I'm still to test the Stillman and Breen ones, which are said by many people to be really good. So I would like to test them also, but yeah, I would have to order them from like outside of Japan, but because I don't think that they have like a reseller in Japan. So maybe someday when I really feel the need of buying stuff from, where are they from England, I think, then I'll try it. But recently I have been trying not to buy so many things from like outside of Japan if I don't have to, because it makes carbon and it's not necessary. Okay, let's handle the left side also. Okay, I want to add some things. Thank you. Thank you. I'll give your hugs to Kana later. She finished her work for today. She was doing like scripts for like 4-paneled comics for her comic, and she's now playing Monster Hunter. So I haven't tried the Huyon and I think it's Huyon and XP Pen. They offered to send me like trial units, but I don't know which one was that, and it was already a few years ago. But they were like, "Oh, we will send you a like trial unit, but you will have to say good things about our company." So I was like, "No." And I didn't test it yet. I don't test like devices on my channel as like it's not like a rule, but if I have something that I use and I really want, either way, I will sometimes use it on my channel. Like the watercolors that I use were sent to me by Mijello, but they were not sent to me to test on the channel, but just I contacted them if they have like if I can buy them in Japan, because I couldn't find, I was not able to find them. I wanted to test them, and they were like, yeah, sure, we will just send you a like test pack thing. So they were generous in this, but yeah, that's the only, I think this and the Miracolori watercolors are the only things that I just got for free from like a company, but the rest of the things, and the IndieGraph fountain pen. But that was more like a beta test, because the maker wanted me to test the pen and see if it works okay. And I ended up using it a lot in my work, so that's good. It's shady. It's really shady, so that's why I had problems with it. And actually I don't use tablets, like I don't use like the computer so much for drawing recently. If I have to do something digitally, I do it mostly on my iPad, and you saw the videos. But the only thing that I use the computer for right now is video editing and editing of the files. So if I have something painted in Procreate or by hand and scanned, I will edit it in Photoshop, because it's just a lot faster, and I have a lot of layers and I can do stuff with it. But for painting itself, I will not use the computer so much lately. That's why for me the XP pen and how do you spell it? Huyon. It's actually really close to a bad word in Polish, so I kind of feel confused saying it. So I don't really have so much use for these, and I will not just take them to test them on the channel, because I don't do that. I heard good things about them. I have some. I heard about some people in the 3D business, so like making games and stuff like that use them. Maybe it's because most of the people who make 3D, I guess, use Windows, so maybe they work better on Windows. I would be kind of afraid to use it as my main driver thing, just because I'm not sure if the drivers would work on Mac, like you have like updates for the Mac computers and the OS for like really fast recently. So I would be afraid to install it, and if it breaks the next time Apple decides to update their CPUs or something. And it's not a cheap thing to get. So I'm still on a Wacom Intuos, like the one without the screen, and I feel good about it because I use it only like for editing and video editing and like photo editing. I came to Japan as a student. I came to Japan to study animation and comics. And I was able to do that only because I got a scholarship from the Japanese Ministry of Education. Something like this. And in school, I did a lot of things, but the last thing I did was a short animation, which was called Right Places. It's still on YouTube; you can see it. And the animation was okay enough, so I was able to get hired into an animation studio as a person who does backgrounds. Yeah, we actually borrowed. We were kind of smart because when Kana started her comics, we were wondering if she should make it on the Wacom or like on the iPad. Because she likes to paint digitally, she just feels that she can fix a lot of mistakes, and especially if this is going to be like for a book, she wants to make it perfect enough so she can live with the pictures being published in like a book later. So we borrowed like one of the Wacom's display tablets. I don't know which one was it, the cheaper Cintiq. And yeah, we returned it because yeah, we felt that it was like not really good actually. The resolution on the screen was really low, and the quality of the pen was as usual, which is not good. I mean, these Wacom pens are really bad quality wise. I think it's my third one that I'm using right now for the same tablet. So okay, we are close to finishing the pencil, I think. It turned out a bit bigger than I expected, but that's okay. Recently, I like to add these small like dot things on like textures that are closer to the viewer. So like, yeah, I have seen Puparia, and I also have seen the documentary about how it was made. I must say that it's a really well done animation. The only thing I don't like about it is that it really seems that it's just like how do you call it? A series of cuts, series of like scenes that the author just wanted to draw, and I don't think that they are like tied into anything. They don't seem to have a story, at least for me. And also like the female characters again are like this standard kind of animation thing that is his standard style for like females, for women characters. If you see his other work, like a short animation that he did before, and so and like a kind of commercial thing for the studio that he worked at, I think. They all look the same. So the female character, every one of them looks the same, and they're like these. If you read my article about the more illustration problem, especially the second part, you will know what I'm talking about. It's like I'm seeing his imaginary female kind of ideal female image, and it's just something that he wanted to draw and animate, and not a real person. Okay, this got big, so I have to move the camera a bit. Okay. Let's go with the watercolors then. Let me move things around a bit. Faber-Castell colors. Faber-Castell watercolors. Does Faber-Castell do watercolors? I'll be using this, which is the Miracolori, which is the Mijello pure pigment series. Like as a matter of not matter, as a rule of thumb, I always say that if you have like choice of watercolors, go for the one that it says that there are artist quality ones, and most of the companies have like the cheap series and the more expensive series, which is the artist quality ones, and just buy less but better ones and you'll be good, because you will add some colors later. Okay. I'll be using this brush, but maybe also a bigger one. Yeah, like this one. I want some roundish brush for this. Okay. Let me just switch the battery in my camera. On. Yay. Okay. Yeah, you really don't need so many colors. You need maybe for comfort I would say 12. Maybe less is okay also, like 8. But then you will have to mix all the like many colors, so it's okay for like painting like in the studio probably, or doing like really simple things. If you have complicated scenes with a lot of color, you will get slower because you will have to mix a lot of things from scratch. And the convenient colors are called convenient because they are convenient, and the convenience mixes. So you get faster because you don't have to mix everything. Theoretically, you can get away with like 7 colors, maybe, like warm and cold, and maybe some black, but that makes you really slow when painting something more complicated. I think that like learning watercolors is like learning anything. So start simple and just look at what people do with watercolors and try to emulate them. I think in every like learning process it's the same as you would learn a guitar, for example, or learn to write or learn to dance or whatever. Uh, yeah, it's just experimentation is really good. So trying to figure out how someone did something is really good. So buy good supplies. You don't have to have a lot of them, but just make it good. And then just try to use them and play with them and see good watercolors and watercolors that you like and try to figure out how they were done. That's it basically. Have fun for the next 30 years figuring it out, because basically I think that's how long it takes to get kind of decent. I'm not decent yet. Maybe not 30, 20 years probably. No, I'm joking. I'm joking a bit. In my opinion, what's the anime that has best character design? Ah, that's difficult question. Ooh. Best character design. Ooh, that's difficult because there's some always a but that I can use on each of the ideas that I have, and usually it's but the female characters are really standard, and it's hard for me to figure out. Yeah, that like all the Ghibli Studio Ghibli ones are okay, but the female kind of heroine thing, the girl heroine thing is also there a bit. Like even Hayao Miyazaki has problems with getting rid of like his ideal heroine. So there's a problem with this there also, but weirdly maybe Satoshi Kon. So Paranoia Agent and Paprika also has a bit of the female thing, but it's like in the story. So but Paranoia Agent is okay. It also has so there's hardly any animation like that I can say it's perfect, but it's really difficult. I haven't seen the new Ghibli thing yet because it was in the TV here in Japan, and we don't have a TV. So we asked Kana's parents to kind of record it for us, but apparently the recording doesn't work if it's not played on the same thing it was recorded on. So that's a pain. But yeah, probably it's like something anti-piracy something. So I haven't still seen it. I have to figure out a way to see it. It will be in the cinemas here in Japan, but we are not really happy about going into the cinema in the pandemic. So probably I'll have to wait until we go to Kana's parents' house and see it there on their TV. Yeah, I want to see it in a like decent quality, and if I can like legal, I guess. But if I cannot, I will just look somewhere online and try to figure out it. How is it called it in English? Like Earwig and the Witch or something like that. It's based on a book that I actually read, and I was surprised that they use it for the movie because the book is not so. I think it's not the best material for an animated thing, so I was a bit surprised about it. It's by Diana Wynne Jones, right? Yeah, Major Kusanagi is good because that's the story. It is in the story that she has to be like this. So I can see this is a good character, even though she is kind of sexy and exposed a lot of times. I'm like, okay, this is the story, and also Paprika is kind of this story, and also Perfect Blue is this kind of story, where you have like a story about a Japanese idol who goes crazy. The main character has to be a bit like this cutesy and moe style. So yeah, I can see the some cases when it's okay. But I just cannot figure out why. I mean, I tried to figure out in the article I wrote about the other cases. So, yeah. So in what I'm trying to say is, in an animation where it's not necessary for the heroine, for the female characters to be cutesy and just your standard anime character, there should be like this movement to make them look and feel more realistic. But there's none of this yet. So in some animation you can get female characters that feel realistic, even if they are painted kind of in a simple way. But in some animations they go the other way, so they make like accessories of these characters, and that's bad. It's called Earwig and the Witch, yes, and it was actually, I think, wrote Diana Wynne Jones wrote it, or was it Ursula K. Le Guin? I'm confused right now. I think it's Diana Wynne Jones, but maybe I'm wrong. Yes, it's Diana Wynne Jones. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Edenor. Now I can focus again on the painting. So I'm kind of trying to keep things simple here, not to go too heavy with the colors yet. Let me change the lighting a bit so it's not reflected so much from the paint. So this is a bit of a change from what I have been doing today, because I was painting spaceships. So we are getting back to Japan. Witam serdecznie. Fajnie być odkrytym. mnie bardzo właśnie cieszy, że jeszcze jestem odkrywany. Mam nadzieję, że będę odkrywany jeszcze przez długi czas. I'm really happy that I'm still kind of discovered sometimes by people, and I hope I will continue being discovered by people for the next I don't know, 50 years or whatever. Okay, and let's paint some red on the temple in the back. Maybe a bit more orange, like something like this is okay. And too orange. I cannot see it on the photo so well, but let's just put some like red accents here and there. And okay. Have you ever been recognized in public? Once. It happened, but I guess that's like weird because it's not like really in public. We went to Prague, I think it was already 3 years ago, with our friends Atelier Cento, and we went to do some sketching there. And we went to like art supply store where I wanted to buy some like supplies that you cannot buy in Japan because reasons. And I started talking, and one of the people who were just buying stuff in the shop were like, "Oh, you were from YouTube, you do this channel," and apparently he didn't recognize me from how I look, but he did recognize my voice when I started to talk about something. And Kana was once recognized when we still were living in Kanagawa. We were just like walking around, and like this guy approaches and he's like, "Oh, do you do like comics?" And like a Japanese person. So that was kind of interesting also. But no, usually I'm not recognized in public, especially in Japan. I'm not recognized in public. I don't know, maybe if I went somewhere abroad I would be recognized a bit more. Even if I go and paint somewhere, I'm not recognized. Okay, so let's just put some color accents here in the back to show that there is something there. Okay, so okay, this is I'm reading the comment from Tigra or Tigra, and it was about the 3D in Earwig and the Witch feeling Uncanny Valley. Yeah, I was afraid that it would be like this, so I'm still not really happy about watching it, but I guess I have to, so I will. But yeah, I actually saw the Lupin the First, Lupin, how do they call it? Lupin, because in Japanese you say Lupin, so Lupin the First. Which is 3D, and if you haven't seen it, and if I was going to tell you what's about, This is like the new Indiana Jones, but with Lupin and in 3D. So yeah, it's kind of weird, but I enjoyed it. With a question mark, I enjoyed it. It was okay. It was like a car crash that you enjoy watching. But yeah. Yeah, so it's the like there's the original comic by an artist called Monkey Punch, which is called Lupin the Third or Lupin or however you. And it had a television series in like the 80s, I think, and actually Hayao Miyazaki worked on it, and he also did the Castle of Cagliostro movie as a director. But there's a funny thing because what he did in the animation was not really close to what was in the original comic. It was more like a fan fiction variation kind of thing on the topic. And so in Japan, when you say that you like Lupin the Third, they always ask you which jacket do you like, the color which he had in the original TV series, or the one that he had in the Miyazaki episodes and movie. The Castle of Cagliostro was so fun. It was really good. I don't know. I know that I'm making the above your average animator wage for sure. Because from what I read recently, they really have problems with sustaining themselves with just only drawing. And I know that I'm earning more than when I was working in the animation studio, even though I worked there for 4 years, and even though we had like bonus payments for like movies that went like above what they were expecting. So, for example, as you know, Your Name went really well on at the money front. It like broke some records and stuff. So we got like a bonus from that, and so on and so on. So even with these bonuses, I think I'm making more money right now doing my stuff. I have to zoom out a bit. Push. Okay, let's paint a bit of red on these bridge parts, maybe, or not. Let's paint behind them first. I'm using just blobs of color to suggest that there's something there. I would really like to have a trip with someone anywhere. God. So Actually, the coronavirus is a bit better in Japan right now, so they are planning to shut down. So like allow us to go outside again for like in like a week or something. But we are still really wary about that because the it's not the how do you call it the contagion is not so low as to make us feel really comfortable with the idea of going anywhere. So for now we like are looking just at the numbers still and just feeling bad about everything. But yeah, I would really like to go somewhere with Atelier Sento because I think they like live in all these kinds of cool French places that we actually planned to visit when the pandemic hit. So we were really unlucky that we didn't make it before the pandemic. We actually had to decide if we should cancel our flights and everything because the situation looked really bad, and we actually canceled and didn't go, and that was a really good decision because in the next like 2 weeks they did like lockdown, and we could, if we went to France and to Europe, we probably would not be able to go back to Japan for some months. um so we were lucky in a way that we didn't go, but yeah. That's really weird because yeah, about the YouTube channels. That's really weird because I follow all kinds of weird channels that are not completely not art related. So maybe if I tell you, you will not know. I follow, for example, Wintergatten, which is Wintergatan or whatever however you say it. It's about this guy who builds a music machine from using like a lot of marbles. Um, and he's kind of losing his marbles on the way because it's not complete yet. But I really enjoy it because it's like a mix of art and engineering. I watch a lot of kind of retro computing things because I'm interested in old computers and old gadgets and engineering and all kinds of digital things like programming. So I follow a channel that's called Adrian's Digital Basement, which is like this hardcore old computers things, where a guy just for an hour or something to like opens an old Mac and fixes it from so it works again. And I'm talking about Mac computers from like 20 years ago or something, or maybe more. So yeah, I follow a lot of these kinds of channels. So when I want to just relax after doing art or something, I just watch people taking computers apart and doing stuff with them. The MMX, the MMX will be completed someday. Yeah, I watched stuff made here. I actually watched it recently. I don't have it subscribed, but I watch it sometimes. It's really interesting for me because I have a bit of a engineering background in my education also. So I'm a bit of a kind of reverse Martin because he's a musician that wants to do like engineering things to play music with his like contraptions, and I'm an engineer who actually went into art and use computers for art. Yeah, there will be a video about the calendar. I still have to make it. But yeah, I have been doing spaceships in watercolors, so patience. It will happen. I want to do a video for each month if I can. I was in computer networks and systems. So we did like programming and just computer networks, but also I just went for the like regular thing that a person has to learn to be able to do electric stuff. So like putting electric wires into your house, for example, or working with high voltages and high currents. I didn't go for the exam, but I have the knowledge, I guess. I hope I have still a bit. From starting point, I guess the part about actually the part about this phenomenon of creating these imaginary female characters in your head when you are kind of a teenager or a young man. It's again, read the article on my website. Sorry, because it's kind of long and complicated. But what he was saying was that he watched like 2 animations done by students, and as a lot of these animations, they had like these female characters who were like doing stuff. Even though the theme of the both of the animation was different, it kind of felt similar to Miyazaki, and he tried to answer why he did what he didn't like about the animations, and like having this kind of character based on the ideal female girl for a character was something that he didn't like about these animations. So he wrote about that in the starting point book, and I really thought that this fragment was completely on point about and could be used to characterize the whole animation industry in Japan. Yeah, I'm from Poland. But I liked a lot of things in the starting point book, actually. Now I'm getting through the next one, which is called Turning Point, and I think I haven't read it before. I have read the starting point before. Just forgot a lot of the things there. The book the translation is not really good. You have to kind of really read it like you would read like a school book. It's not enjoyable so much because the I don't know why. the translation is not really good, and it doesn't like the language does not keep you wanting to turn pages. The content is good, so of course, so you keep turning the pages, but it's kind of a you have to work at it, so that's not good for um, any book, I guess. Um, and I just had a hard time to finish it. I had to kind of force myself and tell myself, okay, this is for your work, creative artwork thing, and it's good for you to read this. And I had to kind of work and force myself to finish it. Thank you. Yeah, using reference for characters is tough because you end up like doing just copying the reference a lot of times. What helps me with it is like not looking at illustrations, like looking at photos at real people. And what I like to do with references is like draw the reference like 1 or 2 times, and when I feel that I kind of know what this person looks like and kind of know what this person feels like, I try to draw the same person from a different angle using no reference, or looking at the reference that I have and trying to figure out how this person would look from a different angle. That kind of fires up your imagination. So you're not only like being inspired by the reference, but you also kind of have to imagine like a different angle of the face, for example, or something. So you start to see this as a 3D object that actually moves and has emotions and stuff. So also, what a good thing is like trying to add emotions to the person that you are painting. So, for example, you use the reference for like some base poses, and when you feel that more or less you know what this person kind of looks like, you try to add some new poses with some emotions. And for this, you can use like references from your, I don't know, favorite comic or whatever, when someone just is doing emotions there, and you like how they do like emotions. But you try to use these kind of examples on your person that you are drawing from the reference that you have. So using like two sources for your drawing kind of frees you a bit from like making just the thing that you're seeing on the photo, which is good. So what I would do, or I would find like interesting person on a photo, and I would just draw the photo like once and or twice, and then when I feel like okay, I more or less know how this person looks like, I would try to draw the same person from the side, for example, and smiling, uh, to get more creative and to make the brain do more work And if you do this like few times, you suddenly find that, oh, I can draw this person from any angle right now. And that's really important if you want to do like creative work, like a comic, for example, or an illustration. So I have a lot of problems with like anime for making like all the female characters look kind of the same, and so on and so on. But I also have a lot of problems with people who just use like photo reference and make like have like one style that they apply to the photo reference, and just post all these like really similar drawings on Instagram and social media or whatever. Ideally, I would like, if you like to draw and would like to do a lot of characters, I would recommend doing just a lot of different people with different nationalities, different races, different like backgrounds, like different ages, and look for a photo that you kind of like, and try to draw this person from like a different angle that is than what is actually on the photo. And this is good for anything actually. So if you have a chair that you like, and you would like to be good at drawing it, try drawing it from different angles than the angle that you can see on your reference or in reality. So this can be used for anything. Like teaching your brain how the world works is more important than to be like photorealistically accurate, I think. Ow, sorry. Head camera. Uh, it's difficult for me to say how many hours I work every day because it differs really. I'm a kind of a freelancer because I always almost only do my own work. So I don't have any like time tracking or anything. I try to wake up as early as I can, which for me sometimes is 7 a.m. and sometimes is 9. I'm not really a morning person. For example, now it's like 11 p.m. In Japan, and I'm still doing stuff. So rather than doing things in the morning, I and often end up doing work like late in the evening. But I don't know how many hours, many, but I try to work less recently, so I have more space for thinking and doing my own stuff. Yeah, a lot of imagination is not really imagination. It's like the magic that happens behind the scene and no one tells you about. It's like you see a person that's playing like really nicely playing a guitar, and you think, oh, that would be nice to just go on the stage and play the guitar, and just everyone looks at you and thinks like, oh, he just plays it so naturally, he doesn't think about what he's doing. Of course he doesn't think that what he's doing, because he played it bazillion of times before, and trained not to think, not to have to think about what he's doing. And it's similar here. I can talk to you and paint here because I trained to do this. Like not consciously trained to only this, but because I painted so many things, I can do this and talk to you at the same time. And I can paint like a nice Tokyo store without any references because I already painted a lot of them and looked out, and I know how they look, and what they have and how they are made just from the things that I already did. So sometimes it looks like magic, but it's a lot of repetition. But the point is to have fun and make good stuff during this repetition. Thank you. Yeah, I try to mix stuff also because this is good for staying kind of creative. I don't think I will paint so dark here because one, this paper is not really thick, so it's not really good for watercolors actually. So this is like a sketchbook, so I will not be painting with really thick colors, and I want to keep this simple and light. So I will not be doing like really darker colors. I think this is probably the darkest that we will get here. Um, Usually I would paint darker, but this is more of a sketch than like a finished painting. I use like 300 or heavier grams paper, just usually under each of my kind of videos. You can read what paper it was made on. This is, I don't know even if it has like 90, so it's really thin actually for what I usually compared to what I usually use. Yeah, with watercolors, you usually use lighter colors first and then go into darker colors. This is because if you paint a darker part and then try to add lighter details around it, probably the most probably the darker details will bleed and kind of mix together, which is not nice. It kind of messes your edges and makes the whole thing look really muddy. So you usually start with the lightest colors and then go to the darker ones. So I first painted like these kind of pink details here, and I'll just add some like dark gray here, and then I'll paint like these like thick branches that are in front darker later, so we can have this um, look that they are stronger in front. I like to watch people make music. I guess it's the same thing. Okay. Konbanwa. ありがとうございます。which color is it? This one. はい。Staying in one style is. I'm a bit tired, but I'm okay. Staying in one style is difficult, especially if you are kind of influenced by a lot of things. And on longer projects, you can get out of your style and change the style on the way, which is not good for some projects and okay for some projects. For example, often in comics and like serialized comics that run for years and years, the style changes on the way quite dramatically sometimes, and it's okay. But if you really want to stay in one style, you have to be really conscious about it and plan your work. So, for example, you do the preparation sketches and stuff in one go. So then you have everything in the same style. So when you do one sketch like and then the next one half a year later, for sure your style will change, and mine also will change, and every artist's style will change somewhat. So that's a difficult thing to keep, like consistency. You learn it a bit when you do a lot of things, but even for like professional comic artists and stuff, it's hard to keep their style consistent. Yeah, if you see like even the comic that I told you about, like Yotsuba, and if you see the first volume and the new one that what came out like a few days before, you will see that a lot of like the style has changed and the character design has changed, and a lot of things changed. Yeah, I have seen most of Manben. We watch it with Kana. Ultimately, I would like to. Sorry. Ultimately, I would like to make a book from the process of making the animation. That would feature, of course, all the backgrounds and stuff, but also would feature like concept arts and things. I don't know how well it will go. I would like to do it, but it's a matter of not only like just making it myself, but ideally having like a publisher who would like to do it with me. So I first had to have a bit done so I can show it to someone, and then yeah, I will see. But for now, I'm posting most of the sketches that I'm doing for the animation on my Patreon. So if you are there, you can see the progress, and I'm talking about my kind of thought processes and stuff during the Q&A sessions that we have, like video sessions. Yesterday, for example, the day before yesterday, we had a Q&A session, and my patrons were, I was talking about spaceships and space stations and things like that a lot. Yeah, simplifying things is really difficult. um, I'm really sorry, because I'm just telling that a lot of things is difficult, but it is. um, Bonjour. I don't speak French, I'm sorry. Bonjour is the only word I can say. Ah, hi, it's you. Yes, hi. Peter is my fellow creator with whom I actually shared apartment in Kobe when I stayed there. I haven't played Cyberpunk. We have only PlayStation 4, and I don't know if it will work on this, to be honest. Uh, I don't know. At some point, I kind of lost interest in games that have this perspective. I used to play a lot of like shooting games and first-person games when I was in Poland, and later a bit more, bit also. But at some point, I kind of lost interest in games from that are in this kind of front-person view. I enjoyed a lot. Like the new Zelda recently. It's probably one of the most games that I played recently, but yeah, I guess at some point we will get PlayStation 5, but right now I don't think so. Okay, so I'll try to put some darker browns here on the branches that are in front to make them pop out a bit more. Yeah, I read nice thumbnail by the way. Nice icon by the way. I read Yotsuba, and I actually read the new volume that came out day before yesterday, I think, or 3 days ago. Um, so I like it also. Kana is a big fan of JoJo. I hear JoJo. Yeah, Kana is a big fan. I haven't read it so much, but she's a great fan, and we actually went to a JoJo exhibition that was in Tokyo a few years ago, and yeah, it was awesome. Yes, he is. When I saw the pages, like the original pages from like really close up, it was stunning. The level of details and the kind of craftsman level of craftsmanship was awesome. Um, if there's a good project that I could like jump into and do something and jump out of the industry again, then maybe. But sadly, the Japanese animation industry still works in the Japanese kind of standards. So you either are like a, how do you call it, freelancer that can go come and go, and then you don't have anything to say on the project most of the times, from what I experienced, or you like work, I don't know, 20 years in the same studio, and then maybe you have a chance to do something like creatively responsible and something creative actually, not actually creative, like something like original, and doing something like directing something on, or having more creative input into a project. So if I would have a chance, I would have a chance given to have a bit more creative position on like a bigger project that I like, then maybe I would go for just like a short period. But I actually don't think I'm really made for working like long hours in an animation studio, just because the way they worked didn't suit me physically, so to speak. There are actually a lot of people that endure this for longer time. A lot of them just go out and burn out and quit. But yeah, there are a lot of people who are there for a long time, and they continue making these things. If you look for like any like how do you call it, director or whatever, or anyone who makes is like a motion director or character director or whatever, there's a lot of people who worked for years and years. But yeah, a lot of people quit, or a lot of people have like this plan of just going in and staying, being just an animator, and uh, not having any responsibility for like just doing what they are told, but not having any responsibility um, for the show that they are working on, or like the movie. So they just feel comfortable being just creative on this level of animating and realizing the vision of the director. Um, I think yes. In my case, it was. I was finally able to do my own things, but I didn't like quit the animation studio just after making your name. I did direct a short thing, but it was like a commercial thing, and had a lot of I had a lot of problems with it. So my mental health was worse because of that also. But yeah, I think my mental health improved, but then went down a bit also, because I just did so many things in all the time I could now spend on my own art. So I kind of burned out a bit also. But yeah, like working at the animation studio was not bad actually. I was in animation studio that uh, probably was one of the better ones in terms of how they treat people, but still it was a bit um, stifling for me actually. Especially that there's no end to things, because no matter how fast and how well you work, there's no end because there's always the next thing waiting. So if you feel good in this kind of stressful environment, then um, you're okay, but I wasn't. I'm just painting, doing things, and talking, and this is a place called Kameido Tenjin, and I'm over 2 hours right now, so probably I'll just button this up and we'll be over soon. I don't want to overdo this also. And this is just a sketch, so it's not a part of a bigger thing. Yeah, we are actually thinking about moving out of Tokyo before the Olympics, if it happens. And we are thinking about moving to different places, like outside of Tokyo for now. Thank you. Oh, it actually started raining outside. Okay, I think more or less that's it. If I start to add more details to this, it will kind of kill the sketch vibe in this piece. So let me zoom a bit so you can see it a bit better. I'll manually scroll it from top to bottom. I like this part here. I like the roof and this part here. The bridge is also okay. I kind of I don't know, don't like this right part so much. I like the shadows here on this but there's some things in the front that I would do differently, maybe, but for like a quick thing, I think it's okay. Okay, it's stuck. Let me scroll the camera then. This is how the bottom part looks like. I don't like this part here, which is a bit muddy, and I added 2 dark colors probably to this part. You know what? I'll try to fix it. This is really smooth paper, so I can pick some paint, I guess, from this part. Yeah. Let's dry it a bit. And so like this, if you are using a smooth paper that doesn't and non-staining watercolors, you can sometimes get away with fixing stuff like this, especially with darker colors. You can add a bit of water, and sometimes you can like kind of peel the paint off the paper a bit. Sorry. I live in Japan. It's on. Okay. I live in Japan. I live in Tokyo. Oh, that's an interesting effect. Okay. But I want to make the bottom part a bit darker, but maybe not so dark as it was. And add some shadows here. That's a bit better, I guess. Okay. So yeah, it's 11:15 p.m. here, so I'll be finishing this and going to sleep. Okay, so this is the finished result. It looks like this. I'll probably scan it later and edit it a bit, the colors and so on in Photoshop, and put it on you. Put it online on Instagram later. So yeah, I'm Polish, and well, maybe next time on my next stream I'll talk about my daily routine, which is not actually really interesting, but yeah. No, do not add more details. Do not add more details. Okay. Thank you for joining me today. It was a bit longer than I expected, but I think we have an interesting sketch. So I will upload it later on Instagram. Please, you can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on YouTube, and I also have a Patreon. And I have a blog also where you can read some texts and thoughts that I published recently. So I recommend also that you go there and read things. Okay, thank you for joining me today. I had a lot of fun doing this small sketch, and I hope you liked the stream. See you in the next one. Bye.